Dear viewers, today we will be discussing the reflexive pronouns. Since it is in the syllabus of 11th and 12th classes, I think it proper to discuss it separately from the pronoun group. So therefore, let us begin with the reflexive pronouns. Today we will be doing the definitions. We'll see what is a pronoun or what does a reflexive pronoun mean. Then we will see its uses. We'll see some exercise. We'll try to do it. And I hope that you will inshallah get benefited from it. But with one request, before you start to watch this video, just do one thing. You just keep your notebook and your pencil or pen or whatsoever you have with you. You just keep that with you so that you will write some important points or some exercises you have to do here. So let us begin about the reflexive pronouns. So first of all, let us see what does a pronoun mean. Okay, if you can see on the screen, it is written over here. A pronoun is a word that is used in place of a noun or a noun phrase. So a pronoun is a word that is used in place of a noun or a noun phrase. Now what is that? For example, say if I tell, say for example, Aslam is a boy. Aslam reads in class 6. Aslam's father is a doctor. Aslam has 2 sisters. So you see, it doesn't sound that much pretty good, because the repetition it becomes heavy on the ears. So therefore what we do, we say Aslam is my friend. His father is a doctor. He has 2 sisters. So we are replacing Aslam with a word that is he. And this he is a pronoun. Okay? It is understood now. So a pronoun is a word that is used in place of a noun or a noun phrase. In a pronoun, जिसको हम कहते हैं कि ये वो चीज है जो हम नाउन के इसम के बदले में इस्तेमाल में लाते हैं. Because I am not good at Urdu, so I should not say what is it called in Urdu. Maybe telling it isme zamir or ishara. I am not sure about that. So I must tell you simply a pronoun. Pronoun को आप ज़हन में रखिए कि pronoun एक ऐसा लफ्ज़ है जो noun के बदले में इस्तेमाल में किया जाता है. Okay. Now pronouns can be classed into the following. Pronouns के ये जिस तरह से हमने नाउन के देखे, वहां पे नाउन में हमारा प्रॉपर नाउन है, कॉमन नाउन है, कलेक्टिव नाउन है, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट नाउन है. अकॉर्डिंगली pronouns has also, it can be divided into 5 groups, different groups. It can be classed into 5 groups. So pronouns can be classed into the following. Number 1, personal pronoun. Number 2, reflexive pronoun. Number 3, demonstrative pronoun. Number 4, indefinite pronouns. And number 5, relative pronoun. Now, since we are not discussing all these types over here, we are just with this second reflexive pronoun, we have to discuss this. And let us say what examples are here. What is a personal pronoun? It refers to the person. May it be you or me or he. Okay, myself first person, you are listening to me, you are second person, about whom we are talking, that is third person. So say for example, personal pronouns: I, you, he, mine, your, his, him, her, those, them. So this is called a personal pronoun, where persons are used, where we use words in place of persons. So it may be a first person who is talking, or a second person who is listening, or a third person about whom we are talking. So these are personal pronouns. Accordingly, we have reflexive pronouns. This is when we use a self or selves. We will be discussing it. When we add self or selves to these persons. For example, if you use I with a self, it becomes myself, yourself, himself, etc. It is a reflexive pronoun. We will be discussing this. Then there is demonstrative pronoun, which demonstrates this, that, okay, these, those. So these are demonstrative pronouns. Then you have accordingly indefinite pronoun, which are not definite: all, any, some, each, every, like this. Okay, this is called an indefinite pronoun. Then you have relative pronouns. Now relative pronouns are who, which, that, etc. So now let us move forward. A compound personal pronoun. First of all, let us say what is a compound noun. When we use two independent nouns together, it gives a new word. For example, cow and shed, it becomes cow shed. Ink and pot are two separate words. When you combine them, they become ink pot. Okay. Accordingly, tin shed. Okay. Accordingly, we say watch man, watch and man, watchman. So they become compound nouns. Accordingly, when pronouns are also, when self is added to my, your, him, her, and it. Okay. Say for example, when self is added to my, it becomes myself, your becomes yourself, himself, herself, or itself. Or selves to ourselves, yourselves, themselves. The word so called is a compound pronoun. It is also called a compound pronoun. So you should not get confused. Reflexive pronoun, compound pronoun, emphatic pronoun, they are one and the same. There is a little difference between them. So now let us see reflexive pronoun. Now what is a reflexive pronoun? Reflexive pronoun है क्या? जब कोई चीज वापस आकर के सब्जेक्ट पे आके वापस आ जाए, when the action that is done by the subject turns back on it, the pronoun thus used is said to be reflexive. यानी when the action done by the subject turns back on it, यानी एक्शन सब्जेक्ट ने की, जैसे मान लो मैं सब्जेक्ट हूं, मैंने कोई एक्शन की और वो एक्शन मुझ पे वापस आ गई, दैट इज कॉल्ड रिफ्लेक्शन उसकी हो गई, तो उसको हम रिफ्लेक्सिव प्रोनाउन कहते हैं. मिसाल के तौर पर ये ऐसे भी कह सकते हैं आप, रिफ्लेक्सिव प्रोनाउन्स रेफर बैक टू द सब्जेक्ट ऑफ द सेंटेंस. एक सेंटेंस के सब्जेक्ट पर जब एक्शन वापस लौट के आती है तो उसको हम रिफ्लेक्सिव प्रोनाउन कहते हैं. वी कॉल दैट ए रिफ्लेक्सिव प्रोनाउन. For example, I hurt myself. I hurt myself. I is the subject, hurt is the verb, myself. It rebounded back to me. I hurt myself. I hurt, we hurt ourselves. We hurt ourselves. Okay? He talked to himself. He was talking to himself. So, he was talking to himself. Okay. Now this is a reflection. So a reflexive pronoun is when the action done by the subject turns back on it. The pronoun thus used is said to be reflexive. Or reflexive pronouns refer back to the subject of the sentence. Examples are I hurt myself, we hurt ourselves, and many more examples. He was talking to himself, she was looking at herself. Okay. So these are the reflexive pronouns. Now, what is the use of a reflexive pronoun? Where is it used? Now you might have understood from I. Say for example, if you say I, myself, you, yourself, if it is more than one you, if it is plural you, then yourselves. I, myself, me, myself, my, myself, ourselves, we, ourselves. Okay. Then accordingly, you, yourself, you, yourself, he, himself, she, herself, they, themselves. Is it? So these are reflexives. Can be used after prepositions. Now you have prepositions, you know, which determines the position of a word. For example, by, at, on, in, under, above, below, across. These are all prepositions. So these, when we use the reflection, it is always used after the preposition. It is not used before the preposition. You please remember it. यानी हर एक रिफ्लेक्सिव प्रोनाउन को प्रीपोजिशन के बाद इस्तेमाल में लाया जाता है. Not before that. Not before preposition. After preposition, it is used after preposition. Okay. It, for example, she lived by herself. She lived by herself. We cannot say she lived herself. No. She lived by herself. But you cannot say she lived herself by. No. She lived by herself. Now you see, this is the reflexive pronoun of she. Herself is the reflexive pronoun of she. She lived by herself. I was angry at myself. I was angry at myself. I was angry, but at myself. I was angry at myself. So at is the preposition. After that comes the reflexive pronoun. Then accordingly, reflexive pronouns can be used for emphasis. To lay stress on something, to lay emphasis on something. किसी चीज पे जोर डालने के लिए जब हम इस्तेमाल में लाते हैं रिफ्लेक्सिव को, तो उसको हम रिफ्लेक्सिव प्रोनाउन को हम emphasis के लिए भी लाते हैं. मिसाल के तौर पर my son did all by himself. Okay? Or the principal himself encouraged the child. The principal himself encouraged the child. अगर हम ऐसे कहते, the principal encouraged the child himself. The principal encouraged the child himself. लेकिन इसमें वो जोर नहीं है, लेकिन इसमें जोर है. The principal himself encouraged the child. My son did it all by himself. My son did it all by himself. So you are laying an emphasis on something. Accordingly, when reflexives are used as for emphasis, they are called emphatic pronouns. So मैंने पहले ही कहा था कि यानी इनको emphatic pronoun भी कह सकते हैं, compound pronoun भी कह सकते हैं, और इनको reflexive pronoun कहते हैं. यानी reflexive pronoun के दो और नाम भी निकल आए. एक ये आया कि इसको हमने compound pronoun भी कह दिया, emphatic भी कह सकते हैं, जिसमें emphasis आ जाए. मिसाल के तौर पर you can see these examples. The town itself is not very large. The town itself is not very large. Town के बदले में reflection itself. The town itself is not very large. The town itself is not very large. Accordingly, I can solve the sum myself. Yes, or you can also say I can myself. I myself can solve the sum. I myself can solve the sum. I can solve the sum myself. तो यहाँ पे हमें ये बात समझ में आ गई कि रिफ्लेक्सिव प्रोनाउन जो होता है वो सब्जेक्ट के ऊपर रिफ्लेक्ट वापस करता है. एक्शन जो होती है वो सब्जेक्ट पे वापस आ जाती है. जैसे आप कहते हैं I hurt myself, I saw it myself, I myself saw it, you did it yourself, you yourself saw it, they themselves hurt each other. So this is where you can use a reflexive pronoun. Now let us try to do it. Okay, so we were doing this, that the reflections are when they turn back to the subject. Now let us do this exercise. For example, let us do I am sitting by dash, the prisoner hanged dash, they gave dash a lot of trouble, he fell down the horse and injured dash, we exerted dash a lot today, she dash told me the story, everybody ought to introspect dash, you can do it dash because it is so easy. Now if you have your notebook before, as I have told you, you can just, if you can read it clearly, you can just do it. I am sitting by myself. I am sitting by myself. The prisoner hanged, the prisoner hanged himself. They gave dash a lot of trouble. They gave themselves a lot of trouble. He fell down the horse and injured himself. Accordingly, we exerted ourselves a lot today. She herself told me the story. Everybody ought to introspect himself. Everybody के बदले में himself. You can do it yourself because it is so easy. Or you can do it yourselves because it is so easy. Now, this is an exercise. Let you do it for yourselves. Now, he has landed dash in difficulties. Now you see, if it is he, you have to use the reflexive pronoun of himself. So you can use he has landed himself in difficulties. Accordingly, I will go myself. She के बदले में क्या आएगा? Herself. She herself told me that she was not coming. You have to manage the whole show. You have to manage the whole show. अब you के बदले में yourselves भी आ सकता है, yourself भी आएगा. You have to show manage the show yourself. They should know that they are themselves landing in the trouble. They के बदले में. Accordingly, so quit dash like men. Quit yourselves like men. The dog choked itself. The dog choked itself. Dog के बदले में himself नहीं कर सकते हैं क्योंकि because it will then resemble to the humans. The dog choked itself. I myself heard the remark. I myself heard the remark. We seldom see ourselves as others see us. A house divided itself. A house divided itself cannot stand. So this is something about the reflexive pronoun. So I hope that you might have understood what does a reflexive pronoun mean. Now let me recapitulate it for you. Simply we can say that a reflexive pronoun is when the action done by the subject turns back to the subject. It is called a reflection. For I, it becomes myself. For you, it becomes yourself. For he, it becomes himself. For she, it becomes herself. For they, it becomes themselves. For we, it becomes ourselves. For us, it becomes ourselves. Like this. For a particular animal, it becomes itself. For a particular object, the house, the tree, it is itself. So this is what we call about the reflexive pronouns. There are exercises given in it. You can do it. You refer to your grammar book. You refer to your subject exercises. You can yourself come to know. It is an easy task to be mastered and to be remembered. For further, you can subscribe to my channel. It is your given here, AYUB DILBER. Okay, I hope that you might have got it. Thank you very much.